Hi, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Hollie. We own and run a bar in Tenerife called the Sixties Bar, and twice a week we host our own pub quiz nights.
After listening to many other quiz podcasts, we've realised that it's something that people rather like. Here we go with the Pub Quiz Podcast.
So we have 15 questions of general knowledge, 3 short specialist rounds, and then we'll give you all the answers.
So whether you're at home with family or out in the car on your daily commute, you can choose how you keep score. So here we go with the Pub Quiz Podcast. Well, hello there and welcome to episode 9 of the Pub Quiz Podcast. We've got some fabulous news for you, and to find out what the news is, I'm going to hand you over to Hollie.
Well, yes, we are now on episode 9. I can't believe we're this far in already. And I've been looking at the audience and the analytics even, and just looking at some of the countries that have been listening to our podcast. And just to name a few, we've got people from Spain, the United States, Canada, New Zealand, Greece, the Czech Republic, Switzerland, Ireland, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Bulgaria, and a few more on the list as well, which is great.
It's quite fantastic, really. So wherever you are in the world listening to the Pub Quiz Podcast, we hope that you're enjoying it and maybe increasing your general knowledge a little.
And don't forget to follow us and rate us so you never miss an episode.
Now, don't forget, at any time during this podcast, you can pause us, give yourself a little bit more thinking time, and if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so at our email address, which is
sixtiesbartenerife@gmail.com. All letters, no numbers.
So here we go with today's Pub Quiz Podcast. As usual, 15 general knowledge questions
and 3 specialist rounds.
So without further ado, on with the show.
Right, question number 1 then, on your general knowledge this week. Question number 1, what is the biggest animal in the world?
Question number 1, what is the biggest animal in the world?
Question number 2, what city is hosting the 2024 Summer Olympic Games?
Question number 2. What city is hosting the 2024 Summer Olympic Games?
Question number 3. In which decade was Madonna born?
Question number 3. In which decade was Madonna born?
And moving on to question number 4, what year did Margaret Thatcher die?
Question number 4, in what year did Margaret Thatcher die?
Question number 5, which city had the first ever Fashion Week? It was held in 1943.
Question number 5, which city had the first ever Fashion Week? And that was in 1943.
Question number 6. Which London Underground line has the most stations?
Number 6. Which London Underground line has the most stations?
Question number 7. What is the highest mountain in Great Britain?
Question number 7. What is the highest mountain in Britain?
Question number 8. Which country has the longest coastline in the world?
Question number 8. Which country has the longest coastline in the world?
And question number 9. What did Snickers bars used to be called before the name was changed in 1990?
Was it that long ago?
Evidently, yes.
Number 9. What did Snickers bars used to be called before the name was changed in 1990?
Makes you feel quite old, that, doesn't it?
Doesn't seem that long ago.
I know, it doesn't, does it? Question number 10. Which of Stephen King's novels was the first to be adapted into a movie?
Number 10. Which of Stephen King's novels was the first to be adapted into a movie?
And question number 11, you'll like this one, Ed. Who was the first act to ever appear on Top of the Pops?
Wow. Question number 11. Who was the first act to ever appear on Top of the Pops?
You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Moving on then, question number 12. How many minutes are there in a game of rugby league?
Number 12. How many minutes are there in a game of rugby league?
Question number 13. In what year did the Berlin Wall fall?
Number 13. In what year did the Berlin Wall fall?
Question number 14. Which iconic rock band are Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham part of?
Number 14. Which iconic rock band are Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham a part of?
And your final question on your general knowledge today is number 15. In which country did the first Football World Cup finals take place in 1930?
And number 15. In which country did the first Football World Cup finals take place in 1930? And that's football as in soccer. So there's your 15 questions to start this week's episode off.
Yeah, we hope you've done well. Moving on then to round number 2.
And this is the first of your specialist rounds.
So round number 2 is all about phobias. We're going to give you a phobia and you just need to tell us what that phobia is the fear of. So over to you, Ed.
I've been looking forward to this one. I know for a fact I'm going to get the pronunciations completely wrong, but let's plow in and see how we get on. So number 1, copratastophobia.
Copratastophobia
Is the fear of what? Copratastophobia is the fear of what? Number 2, globophobia is the fear of what? What is globophobia the fear of? Number 3, coulrophobia. That's spelled C-O-U-L-R-O phobia. Coulrophobia is the fear of what? I'll read that one more time. Coulrophobia is the fear of what? Number 4, dendrophobia is the fear of what? What is dendrophobia the fear of? And finally, number 5, triskaidekaphobia is the fear of what? What is triskaidekaphobia the fear of? And there's your round on phobias.
Well done, Ed.
Thank goodness that's over. We're moving on to your second specialist round, and this is a What Am I round, and I believe they're all animals, aren't they?
These are all type of animals, so I'm going to give you the name of the specific species of animal. All you've got to tell me is what it is. So question number 1, what is a red admiral? Question number 1, what is a red admiral? Moving on, question number 2. What is a Shiba Inu? That's 2 separate words spelled S-H-I-B-A-I-N-U, and I think I'm pronouncing it right. Shiba Inu. What type of animal is that? Question number 3. A shepherd's beaked. A shepherd's beaked. What type of animal is that one? Question number 4. Eurasian hoopoe. Eurasian hoopoe. What type of animal is that? And finally, number 5 on this round. A Dutch warmblood. What kind of animal is a Dutch warmblood? So there you go. If you don't know, just take a guess. Who knows? You might just be right. So moving on to your final specialist round,
And these are all synonyms. Now, if you don't know what a synonym is, it's a word that means the same or similar to another word. And these are movie synonyms. So we're going to give you an alternative way of saying the film title. All you have to do is tell us what the actual film is. So we'll start with number one. And the synonym for this film is steel chap. Steel chap. What could that possibly, what film could that possibly be from the synonym? Steel chap. Number two, the synonym is celestial odyssey. Celestial odyssey. That's the synonym. I need to know the film title. Number three is late pond. Late pond. Great synonym. Just need to know the title of the film as it was released in the cinemas. Late pond. Number four, the noise of melody. The noise of melody. What film is that? And finally, number five, absent with the squall. Absent with the squall. I need to know what film that synonym could possibly represent. So there's all of your questions.
I like that round.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
All of your questions for episode 9. Holly and I will be back in a moment with all your answers. So, here are all of your answers for episode 9. And we started with your 15 general knowledge questions.
Here we go then with question number 1. What is the biggest animal in the world?
And the biggest animal in the world is the mighty blue whale.
Question number 2. What city is hosting the 2024 Summer Olympic Games?
And the Olympic Games in 2024 will be held in Paris.
Number 3. In which decade was Madonna born?
Madonna was born in the 1950s, 1953 to be precise.
Number 4. What year did Margaret Thatcher die?
Margaret Thatcher died in 2013.
Question number 5. Which city had the first ever Fashion Week and it was held in 1943?
That was New York.
Number 6. Which London Underground line has the most stations?
The London Underground line with the most stations is the District line, and it has 60 stations.
Question number 7. What is the highest mountain in Great Britain?
That is Ben Nevis in Scotland.
Number 8. Which country has the longest coastline in the world?
The longest coastline belongs to Canada.
And time to feel old again. Question number 9. What did Snickers Bar used to be called before the name was changed in 1990?
It was the iconic Marathon Bar, or just the Marathon.
Yeah. Did you like them?
Yeah, you never got to eat them.
No, I have a nut allergy. So
sadly, you got a nut allergy.
Yep.
And they were loaded with peanuts.
They were. And probably still are.
Yeah.
Question number 10. Which of Stephen King's novel was the first to be adapted into a movie?
And that was the very scary Carrie.
Number 11. Who was the first ever act to appear on Top of the Pops?
That was Dusty Springfield, or as we call her,
Dusty Springboard.
I like Rusty Springboard for some reason. Number 12, I
Question
believe.
number 12. How many minutes are there in a game of rugby league?
Game of Rugby League has 80 minutes.
Number 13. In what year did the Berlin Wall fall?
Well, the Berlin Wall came down in 1989.
Question number 14. Which iconic rock band are Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham part of?
They are part of Fleetwood Mac.
And finally, question number 15. In which country did the first football World Cup finals take place in 1930?
And that football final, or soccer as we call it in America, is Uruguay. It was held in Uruguay.
So there's all your answers to all your general knowledge questions. Moving on to round 2, which was all about phobias.
And these were so hard to say. So, number 1, Copratastophobia is the fear of what?
Believe it or not, I'm not going to say it, but it's the fear of constipation.
Oh, yeah. Question number 2. Globophobia was the fear of what?
Globophobia, I can say that one, is the fear of balloons.
Number 3. Coulrophobia is the fear of what?
That is the fear of clowns.
Number 4. Dendrophobia is the fear of what?
Dendrophobia is the fear of trees.
And finally, number 5. Triskaidekaphobia. What's that the fear of?
That's a great one. That's the fear of the number 13.
So there's your phobia round. Moving on to your what am I round, and these were all animals.
Yeah, we gave you names of animals and you had to tell us what they are. So question number 1 was the Red Admiral.
And a red admiral is a butterfly.
Number 2, a Shiba Inu.
Is it Shiba Inu or Shiba Inu?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It could be Shiba Inu.
It could be.
Either way, a Shiba Inu is a dog.
Yeah, they're like teddy bears, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Number 3, shepherd's beaked.
This one threw me. A shepherd's beaked is actually a whale.
A whale, yes it is. Number 4, Eurasian hoopoe.
Oh, that's a bird.
That's a type of bird, yeah. And finally, number 5, a Dutch warmblood.
And a Dutch warmblood is a horse. So there's your what am I round.
There you go.
One round to go.
Round number 4, name the movie from the provided synonym.
And as I told you, a synonym is a word that means or sounds more or less exactly the same as what it should. So you just got to translate what we're saying into a film title. We started off with number 1, and that was Steel Chap.
And the movie you were looking for was Iron Man.
Steel Chap, Iron Man.
There you go.
Number 2, Celestial Odyssey.
And that one was Star Trek.
Number 3, Late Pond.
And that one is Deadpool.
Deadpool. Number 4, The Noise of Melody.
Oh, I like that one. The Sound of Music. Love that film.
And finally, number 5, Absent with the Squall.
And that one was Gone with the Wind.
So there you go, all your answers for episode 9. Just a quick reminder that you can contact us at any time using our email address, which is
sixtiesbartenerife@gmail.com. And we also have the Facebook group as well, which is 60s Bar Tenerife.
Don't forget to tell all of your friends about our podcast. We want this to grow. It's become very successful worldwide already. Many countries listening to us. Tell all your friends to subscribe. Leave a comment wherever you pick your podcasts up from.
So yes, follow us and you'll never miss an episode of the Pub Quiz podcast.
I've been Eddie.
And I've been Holly.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Pub Quiz podcast, and we will see you next week for episode 10. Bye.
Bye.
So, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Pub Quiz podcast.
If you wish to get in touch with the show, we have a couple of ways in getting in touch. We have an email, 60sbartenerife@gmail.com. That's all letters, no numbers.
Or you can join us on Facebook. Our group there is 60s Bar Tenerife. As our podcast grows, we will obviously be adding more options for you to listen to the podcast and test your general knowledge.
Until next time,
I've been Eddie.
and I've been Holly.